Welcome to our listeners. Thank you for being here for our weekly podcast, the Class Action Weekly Wire. I'm Jennifer Riley, partner at Duane Morris, and joining me today for the first time on the podcast is Olga Romadin. Thank you for being on the podcast, Olga.
Thank you, Jen. Happy to be part of the podcast.
Today on the podcast, we are discussing the recent publication of the third edition of the Duane Morris Consumer Fraud Class Action Review. Listeners can find the ebook publication on our blog, the Duane Morris Class Action blog. Olga, can you tell our listeners a bit about the publication?
Absolutely, Jen. So, class action litigation in the consumer fraud space remains an area of key focus of skilled class action litigators in a plaintiff's bar, and as a result, compliance with consumer fraud laws and the myriad of ways that companies, customers, and third parties interact is a corporate imperative. To that end, the class action team at Duane Morris is pleased to present the Consumer Fraud Class Action Review, and 2026 analyzes key consumer fraud-related rulings and developments in 2025 and the significant legal decisions and trends impacting this type of class action litigation in 2026. So we hope that companies will benefit from this resource in their compliance with these evolving laws and standards.
Thanks, Olga. In 2025, courts across the country issued really a mixed bag of results, leading to major victories for both plaintiffs as well as defendants. What were some of the key takeaways from the publication with regard to litigation in this area?
So, obtaining class certification is one of the most effective procedural tools used to vindicate the rights of consumers. And in 2025, plaintiffs were successful in receiving class certification in 67% of the motions filed, which was up from the number in 2024 when courts granted 57% of the motions filed.
Wow, that higher number of overall class certification motions being granted is certainly interesting. What do you anticipate this will mean for companies in 2026?
Ultimately, as the class action landscape continues to evolve, so too are the playbook theories of the plaintiff and defense bars. Counsel on both sides are becoming more sophisticated and creative in their approaches to prosecuting and defending class actions. And there's a wide variety of conduct that gives rise to consumer fraud claims, and every industry is susceptible. In 2025, consumer fraud class actions ran the gamut of false advertising and false labeling claims. The products at issue included everything from cannabis to nuts, and we anticipate that this will continue to be the case in 2026.
Thanks so much for that information, Olga. Very important for companies navigating compliance with consumer fraud statutes. The review also talks about the top consumer fraud settlements in 2025. How did the plaintiffs do in securing settlements last year?
So plaintiffs did very well in securing high dollar settlements in 2025. The top 10 consumer fraud settlements totaled a staggering $2.1 billion. However, although it's a huge dollar amount, it's still a decrease over 2024 when the top 10 consumer fraud class action settlements totaled about 2.437 billion. So it just shows that the massive amount of money involved in some of these class actions where thousands to millions of consumers could potentially be involved.
Absolutely. We will continue to track those settlement numbers in 2026. Record-breaking settlement amounts have been a huge trend that we've been following for the past few years. Well, thank you, Olga, for being here today, and thank you to our loyal listeners for tuning in. Listeners, please stop by the blog for a free copy of the Consumer Fraud Class Action Review.
Thanks so much, everyone, and thanks for having me, Jen.